So now, we get to talk about Jarquez Carter. Jarquez is currently live with 247 Sports. They just gave him a quick interview. That's why we had to pause for a few minutes. Jarquez wears number 56 for the Newberry Panthers and is our defensive tackle. I've had the opportunity of watching him for several years out here, and just definitely is a workhorse for the Newberry Panthers. Jarquez is looking for 6. You stop. Calm down. Look at your face at you over there. You take it down. This is where you're at. This is where you need to be. All right. He's looking at 6 different hats on the table here. Well, there's 5 hats, but there's 6 on my list, so I'm going to name them all. First, we have Penn State. Next, we have Florida State University. Next, we have Florida Gators. Next, we have Ohio State Buckeyes. Next, we have the Miami Hurricanes. And lastly, we have UCF. Is that correct? You ready? All right. I am now going to hand the microphone over to Jarquez for his decision.
First of all, I want to thank God. I want to thank everybody for showing love and supporting me. Definitely thank my mom and my dad and my granddad. Big shout out to Newberry coach himself. Definitely Coach Johnson, Coach Woodcock, Coach JG. I want to get back on my granddad. I thank him for everything he's been doing. My mom not able to take me on visits. He's the first person we call. He's the first person there for us if we need him. Yes, sir. Make my mom for advice. Sometimes we go back and forth on things, but it's always love at the end of the day. We at just the light. That's all we probably get along sometimes. Big shouts to Trent too. Trent, Auntie Nisha, Bama, I forgot my name. And well, that being said, for the next 3 to 4 years, I'll be taking my talents too.
Oh, they can't see me. They can't see me.
I'll be going to Ohio State.
Wow, what a reaction from the crowd there at Newberry. Jarquez, congratulations, you have picked Ohio State. Why the Buckeyes?
Really because my number one priority is stability. Ohio State, my real stable coaching staff.
Mama, where you at, Mama?
I appreciate it.
Where'd you go? Come on down here. Come on down here.
Staff for building this relationship with me. So,
family, you stay seated.
Well, Jarquez, a huge congratulations on picking the Ohio State Buckeyes. Looking forward to seeing you play there up north. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Again, a big congratulations. And a big congrats out to Ohio State for landing Jarquez Carter, the defensive lineman, will make an instant impact to its number 1 class. That's right, Ryan Day and company are doing work on the trail in 2025, now adding its 24th commitment of the cycle. So with that, let's bring in Bill Kierlick of Bucknuts.com to talk a little bit more about this edition. What are the Buckeyes getting in Jarquez Carter?
Well, Emily, they are getting an interior defensive lineman, a stout interior defensive lineman. He goes 6 foot 2, 284 pounds. ability to stop the run. But what I like best about Jarquez would be his explosiveness and his chase down ability. We just watched that video of him chasing down quarterbacks. He can chase down running backs, but he can really play almost sideline to sideline with that ability to chase down opposing runners and quarterbacks. So, as you mentioned, an excellent addition for the Ohio State program.
Where do you see him fitting into this Ohio State defense when he does arrive on campus?
Well, he'll fit in as a 3 technique with the ability to also play nose tackle, but primarily he'll be a 3 technique for the Buckeyes. And he also fits in the class well in that they have already 2 commitments at defensive tackle in Trajan Odom as well as Maxwell Roy. Now they've got a really outstanding trio in the class of 3 defensive tackles. And then they also have 3 defensive ends that are very, very talented. Zion Grady from Alabama, Zaire Mathis from Pennsylvania, and London Merritt, who is at IMG. So really, it's a tremendously talented and well-balanced group of 6 current defensive linemen, 3 on the end and 3 in the interior.
Very well-rounded, certainly a position that you can never have too much of. You mentioned Ohio State's class, the guys that he adds. This is the top class in the nation right now. They just continue to get stronger. So it feels a little greedy to be asking this question, but who else is on the radar for Ohio State at the moment?
Well, the Buckeyes are in a battle with Alabama for that top spot, and Jarquez helps them create a little more distance between them and the Crimson Tide. But to win that battle and to really, really impact the program, David Sanders is at the top of the list. He's the 5-star offensive tackle out of North Carolina. He is, without doubt, a top 2-3 player nationally overall. And he's a guy that Ohio State really, really covets. His addition would be tremendous. And then there's a couple other offensive linemen that certainly would be nice additions. Josh Petty and Javon McFadden are still uncommitted. So certainly they're on the list. You move back to the defensive line. I mentioned that there are 6 commitments already, but a big addition, they're trying to flip Malik Autry, a defensive tackle that's committed to Auburn and made an official visit to Ohio State last month, and he would be a great flip if they could manage to pull that one off. At wide receiver, they're looking to add at least one more player, and the 2 players that they are really squarely in the mix for right now are Phillip Bell from California and I should say Preston Bowman from right here in Central Ohio. So those 2 defensive linemen. If you move to the secondary, they still would like to add maybe 1 or 2 more secondary prospects. Messiah DeHome, a safety, is a possibility. They would certainly like to add Trey McNutt, but that's going to be a tough one. And then 1 more on the offensive side of the ball. They would like 1 more running back. They've got 2 committed running backs, but they would like to add 1 more, and they've got their sights set. They'd love to flip Anthony Turbo Rogers, who is an Alabama commitment. They would love to flip him. And then another guy to keep in mind is Shakai Mills-Knight, another talented running back.
Plenty of time until the early signing period. A lot of work left to be done for an Ohio State class that, as far as I'm looking at it, Bill, looks pretty fantastic already. Thank you so much for being on the show today. We really do appreciate your reaction once again. Jarquez Carter committing to Ohio State. You can check out more of Bill's work at bucknuts.com. More on this commitment, all things Ohio State recruiting. Also with Big Ten Media Days coming up next week. Keep it locked in for the latest news and coverage of Ohio State. You can find it all at bucknuts.com.